Hello, welcome back to the Good, Bad and Stupid News. It's Friday the 6th of September. Going to get straight on with it because I'm running late, as is standard for me. So you never know, you might get to go home early because I'm going to rush through some of these. I've got a big part, would be a lot of big pile of stuff to go through here. Couldn't have been a slow news day, then I could have definitely got knocked off a little bit early. But anyway, yeah, so obviously remember it's also on, what's it called, iTunes and Spotify and all other places, I think. Slowly I'm seeing people have seen it in different places, but I think Spotify is the one that's a bit difficult to find it when you're actually on the platform. So you have to use your brains and search a little bit deeper, but it's there somewhere. I'm going to get straight on the main news of the day. I don't even think it's hit it's hit the headlines, but not hit the papers because he wasn't in there. But Robert Mugabe's died, hasn't he? Robert Mugabe's dead. That's the end of a headache for many people, I imagine. Or he's not in charge anymore, but I don't think many people will miss him, and that's probably a lot of money that's available then to come back. I wonder who's going to get that. That should go down to all the people that he's taken it off over the years. Or is his wife going to get it? She'll fucking love that, won't she? The master shopper. She used to be in come to London and fly to London and almost have the whole of Selfridges to herself or something or other. Yeah, I've been in that Selfridges. Jesus, the prices in there. I'll be picking up one thing and putting it back and going, shit, I don't really want to pick up anything else and be like, you know, humiliated by the price. But then you see most people in there, they've got like fucking 10 bags on each hand, you know, they've got somebody carrying behind them, and that is like fucking another world. I think I picked up a pair of shoes. I thought they were quite nice. They were Gucci. They were on a sale rack, you know, you see the sale rack. Picked them up. And it said half price sale racks. I thought, oh, you know, there's me. I went over and picked them up. And the half price sale on these shoes was 500 quid for a pair of these Gucci shoes. £500. They're nice shoes, but they weren't that fucking nice, I'll tell you that. Anyway, back to the point. Robert Mugabe's dead. So he ain't going to be wearing any Gucci shoes anymore. So that's the end of that era. So I'm from one. What am I going to say? I was going to try and think of a good segue. Then let's forget that. Robert Mugabe's dead. Draw a line under that. Let's get back to UK politics. I was going to go from one leader to another. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say then. But anyway, Boris Johnson. I saw that speech yesterday. The Boris Johnson speech at the police. I thought first, as soon as I saw that, it just reminded me. I don't know if anybody else did. It reminded me of the Police Academy films. He was giving his speech, wasn't he? And and the woman behind. That's what, because he was all confused and he was all bumbling and stuff, wasn't he? But the girl behind. Sorry if you're the girl, you won't be listening to this anyway, I'm sure. But somebody fainted or was feeling sick behind him, but he was getting distracted, wasn't he? Well, he was obviously distracted from the shit because his brother quit earlier on in the day as well, didn't he? So didn't do him any favours. His brother his brother could have just waited a couple of weeks, couldn't he? But his brother's quit to sort of fucking pulled another rug from under his already slippery feet. He hasn't done him any favours whatsoever, so he's had that going on. He's had all the bills that have gone against him. You know, he's cornered now, isn't he? Because he has to ask for an extension, which he said he's going to be dead he'd rather be dead in a ditch than ask for an extension, which is like, you're actually digging yourself a hole there, really, isn't it? Because you can't, if that's the only option you've got, to ask for an extension or confirm no deal or whatever, then the only option is for him to resign, apparently, unless he found some legal wranglings of getting out of it. But anyway, back to the point, he was giving that speech, wasn't he? He reminded me of that police commissioner in Police Academy, you know, the bumbling police academy, getting a blowjob through the fucking the podium whilst he's giving his speech and whatever. Because he was distracted, wasn't he? I reckon people were like looking at the girl who was fainting, and he's like talking, he's going like, "What's going on?" Because he ended up looking around, but he didn't know. Anyway, he gave a farcical speech. So that would be Police Academy 8 coming to. Well, it's going to be rolling on anyway, isn't it? So the Police Academy, the TV series, it's actually started. That was the first episode. Yeah, so it's a lot more comedy to come from that, I'm pretty certain. Hold on, I've just done those ones. Let's the mystery of the Loch Ness Monster is finally solved, according to experts. Somebody has stated that they believe that it's a giant eel. The Loch Ness Monster could be a giant eel. Could be, as in like it's still a giant eel. Is it like not been... How long do eels live for? This has been... the famous Nessie photo is from 1934. So it would have to be... If it was a giant eel in 1934, it'd have to be about 100 years old now, wouldn't it? I don't think so. But the image anyway is a notorious fake. Well, you don't say. They're saying like the Loch Ness Monster. Look, that's the Loch Ness Monster. I'm sorry, but that is somebody's hand. You know, like a sock puppet. Or, you know, like when you got the shadow puppets and whatever else and you got your hand like that. That's what it is, isn't it? That's what it looks like to me. That's just it looks like somebody's hand. That doesn't look like a monster at all. That top bit there is a hand. Look, you can see the knuckle. Anyway, that one was famous for years, and I don't really know the story, whether it was somebody that was the first sighting of a monster and that created the Loch Ness Monster story, or whether it was already, you know, famous before that and that was the first sighting. Don't know. Maybe I should do some research before I do these videos, but never mind. I'll find out more about that in the future, maybe, because Loch Ness Monster will come back around and around and around. Bez from Happy Mondays is going on to Celebrity Mastermind. What are you laughing at? I think Bez is brilliant. I think he's hilarious, isn't he? He's like fucking character. They're calling him the maracas playing dancer. That's his job title, the maracas playing dancer, from the Happy Mondays, who left school with no GCSEs. Well, nor did I. He's delighted about getting the chance to show the nation he's got brains. I've read this, but it doesn't actually say what his topic is going to be. So if it was fucking drugs, he's going to win. If he's going to be like, you know, partying, having a good time, he's going to fucking win, isn't he? And it'll probably be one of the most interesting topics. You know, some people pick some right shit topics, don't they? Like fucking... I don't know, the history of the automobile or some boring bullshit like that. So yeah, that would be fun to watch, although I doubt I'll see it. But and it's talked about here when he went on to bargain hunts and he was disqualified from bargain hunt. That's got to be a first, isn't it? To be disqualified from bargain hunts for showing the rule book, because he's not allowed to. Family is not allowed to take part. It's meant to not allowed family and friends to take part in the auctions, but his girlfriend bid and won the two teams' auction items. He said it was a genuine error. Well, not really, is it? Because if your items, your girlfriend's there bidding on your items, you happen, unless you've got this like psychic wave that she likes what you like, exact same taste. Anyway, fun. That's bargain was boring, isn't it? So it's like fucking make that program a little bit more interesting. Need to get that David Dickinson back on it. Cara Delevingne, never heard of her, has doubled her bank balance over the. I pulled this out just because of the money involved. They doubled her bank balance over the last year to become the highest earning supermodel in Britain. Accounts from a company show she raked in 21 million. With the 20 million of that dubbed as cash in the bank. It works out at more than £59,000 a day. It's very hard to say that without sounding very, very, very bitter. I don't even. You can take the 3 fucking noughts off that for me at the moment. I'm self-employed, and I can safely say that I didn't earn a penny yesterday. Not 1p, and she earned 59 grand. I mean, take it if you can get it at the end of the day. Earn as much as you can and as much as you want, as long as you give some of it back to somebody. But yeah, she's the highest earning British supermodel, and I imagine there's people in America and whatever else who are even getting more than that. What did I see yesterday? Kylie Jenner. She earns something like £1.2 million per post on Instagram. So if she's fucking, posts some picture of her arse as she's in the bathroom in the morning, or I don't know if it has to be naked or has to be arse related, but aren't they famous for their arses, the Kardashians? Anyway, so she takes a photo of what she's having for breakfast, then let's not be so X-rated, Wayne. Let's fucking let's have some. It's decorum. It's what time is it? It's early. Anyway, takes a photo of what she's having for breakfast. 1.2 million, bang, like that. That's it. Take the rest of the day off. No, she's going to go out and earn a load more money, isn't she? That's the way it goes for them. Whereas I'm running late this morning because I've got to do some job which ain't going to pay me very, very much at all. Anyway, let's stop moaning and get on with this one. Snoop Dogg fancies a cameo in Peaky Blinders, according to one of the show's stars. The hip-hop star, 47, could swap the mic from one of his... That'd be funny. He's the latest in a string of celebrities who are said to be keen to appear in the Birmingham set drama. We're big time now, us Brummies. We're fucking... I tell you what, the accent is coming to town. The accent is going to be on loads of programmes. You can't just leave it just with Peaky Blinders. There's going to be loads of... Apparently, well, saying that Stephen Knight, who made it, said that there was going to be loads of period dramas popping up left, right and centre because everybody's... The Americans love the period drama. They're all into the accents and they all want to see more of it. But I ain't seen anything yet. It'd be good to see if Snoop Dogg comes in and has to do plays an American, or he tries I want to do the Brummy accent and play it like David Beckham's in it. I hadn't even seen that. I've watched all the series, but I didn't see David Beckham. So that's how forgetful that appearance was. David, you need to work on your acting skills. I didn't see you. Fuck knows. Or was he in it? I think he was in it. I heard he was in it. So that'd be funny. He could be the first one smoking the joint in there. I don't think... I've said before, the Garrison pub in Birmingham needs restoring. Whoever... Get onto it if you got any money in Birmingham, because that is fucking going to make you a fortune. The Garrison pub was derelict when I went past it. Unless I've got it fucking wrong. Someone correct me, please. But... there's people going on a Peaky Blinders look around and they're going up and just seeing this like run down, beat up, battered pub that's meant to be the plush one off the TV programme. So, come on. Noel Gallagher has got away with words when it comes to writing songs. He's basically getting pissed off with people asking to sing Oasis songs when he's at his concerts doing his high-flying bird stuff. The reason I pulled this out is just because he said he's speaking to an interview in the UK. People say, "Do you ever get nervous?" And he said, "I'm like, no, because all these people have paid to see me, and the only person in the fucking building who's me is me, and I'm the best at being me. So it's like, what am I going to get nervous for? If they don't have a good time, what the fuck am I supposed to do about it?" There you go. That's the attitude to have, isn't it? You can't get nervous if you got the attitude like that. It's like they've come to see you, so fucking take it or leave it, isn't it? So yeah, that's funny. Also on the other side of the argument, not the argument, but his brother Liam Gallagher wants to give his opinion on drugs. He said the government should legalise drugs because the quality isn't good enough anymore. He basically says that he hasn't got a patch on the stuff in the 90s, So there you go. I'm actually all for the legalisation of drugs. I wouldn't have said that was my reason for it, but at the same time, yeah, I think that's he's on about legalising drugs because the quality's gone shit and like fucking. But at the end of the day, quality's gone shit in the sense that it's fucking dangerous as well, isn't it? People putting shit in it the other day about reading about fucking rat poison has been associated with being cut with drugs for fucking years. Anyway, who in their right mind wants to sell something and then fucking do that to it? You know, you've got to be like some kind of warped serial killer type mind, haven't you? Because all you can think is that you might kill a load of people. So it's fucking sad. That's the reason to legalise it. So at least if people are going to do it, it's fucking good quality, safe quality. So he's onto something there. He's right in a way, but I don't think we'll have it on a Deliveroo dial-in number anytime soon. Anyway, 2 women stun passers-by as they squeeze onto a small mobility scooter. The scene was filmed by most people would have seen the video, be quite shocked, but they could both fit in it. These two have found some good drugs. Look. See those two there? You can't even work out. You can see that's a person there underneath there. Podcast, I'm sorry, you're going to have to just bear in mind that there's imagine a electric scooter and 2 very large people, and one of them is squashed onto the front with her legs kind of up over the, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. They actually look like she's part of the car, but they're squashed on the way to meet their dealer. Get some more good shit by the looks of it. What are we going to do? Carry On Films. Carry On Films has said we're coming back, aren't they? The Carry On Films want to make the films about Russian billionaires. They're going to call it Carry On, possibly Carry On Oligarch or Carry On London, which is basically a breeding ground for oligarchs, apparently. So yeah, but looking forward to those Carry On films. I pulled it out really mainly because there was a thing about the old stars, the people who used to be in it. And there was a thing about Kenneth Williams. If you've seen the old films, Kenneth Williams, I thought was just fucking hilarious. But he come out with the master of the entendeur, double entendre, sexual innuendos basically. But in his personal life, he struggled with being gay, and he always lived alone and battled with depression, and ended up dying on a overdose of barbiturates. I didn't know that. I didn't know he did that, but I knew that he actually there was a film about him which I'd like to see. Maybe I should prompt me to go and watch it. But he was gay, and he was like of that time where people struggled with it because it was very hard to be gay and not be disliked or you were fucking, people used to just didn't like it, did they? It was hard. You had to, a lot of people used to hide it in those days, and it was very hard to come out as gay. So he struggled with that. Even though today you would look at him and go, I think he's gay. He's camp. He was like that way. You'd be surprised if you heard that he wasn't. It wouldn't matter one way or the other. But now it wouldn't really matter. You just, people are people, aren't they? But in those days, like fucking, you would just. I'm trying to think what the word is. You'd be people would disassociate themselves with you. You wouldn't be very liked. It was like 60s and 70s. Although you think the 60s, the swinging days, but gay was very hard to sort of come out, and it was the start of all the marches and everything, wasn't it? I suppose in those days. What am I speaking like I know everything about it? I don't know, but I liked him. And also Sid James. Remember Sid James? Because he was talking about all the different stars. I haven't got time to talk about them all, but Sid James actually died on stage. Sid James with the fucking funniest laugh, or the dirtiest laugh, should I say, in show business, died on the stage in a play. A bit like Tommy Cooper. People thought he was part of the show, but he actually died of a heart attack on the stage. So, yep. But they were great characters anyway. I mean, fucking, they were almost typecast. They couldn't be in anything else, could they? Kenneth Williams, Sid James, and who's the other guy? The guy with the glasses, the little round glasses. Frankie Howard was in them. The guy they were just fucking brilliant. I mean, every single one of them. So funny. Anyway, let's move on. Mexican drug lord, going straight to. Let's get back onto drugs. Yeah, Mexican drug lord El Chapo Guzman is said to have asked for his ill-gotten gains to be donated to his country's indigenous communities. £9.8 billion. Because he's never going to get out of prison, is he? Wounda after his he had all those escapes, he got away with it, and then I think Sean Penn fucked it up for him, didn't he? Sean Penn went and visited him one day and like about making a film about him, and he was like followed. I mean, I don't know this for sure. I don't want to get Sean Penn assassinated. I'm sure he would have been by now if that was the way it was going, but it was only a matter of time. Someone's going to catch him one day, but he's gone down. He's gone down big time because he's never going to get out, is he? But £9.8 billion. And he said that should go, like Robert Mugabe's money should go to the people over there, people who were one day fucking starving and eating leaves off trees. I think I remember watching the Zimbabwe documentary. Now the same for these people. Give that money to, and again, the drug laws over there, they've just done something in Mexico about legalising cocaine in the sense that it's legal to use it now in Mexico. And all these little steps, because they're testing the water, and all these little steps are showing a big change in, what the police have to deal with for starters, and the crime and stuff like that. So these little steps, I mean, it's got to go that way. Sorry if you don't feel that, but I think, it takes the crime out, because Mexico is like, it's like a wild west, isn't it? It's like people are just getting murdered left, right, and centre. You can't trust the police either. The police are like involved. It's all the money, isn't it? So £9.8 billion anyway. Going to get back to the people. If the Americans, because Americans are trying to get their hands on it, so don't do it. Let it go back to the people. Let him at least do one good turn. He's not going to be a martyr. Do it from the government. He could be a martyr if he wants. He's doing it from inside prison, so he's not much of a martyr. He's got to spend the rest of his life in prison. But a drinker who was accidentally charged £55,000 for a single bottle of ale at a hotel bar. Australian cricket writer drank the most expensive beer in history. It was meant to be £5.50, and they took 55 grand out of his bank account. So, okay, now I wish I had 55 grand in my bank for you to accidentally take out of my bank. I've got to say, that's 4 grand less than that model was earning in a day. She would be like, fuck it, I got another 59 grand coming tomorrow. Keep the tip. So 55 grand he's had to pay, but he's got to wait a few days for the money to come back. So hopefully I'm sure he's got a few more in there. We got Nigel. A pub boss is planning a world of the largest gathering of Nigels. This is a bloke in England, because I don't know, are there many people in other countries called Nigel? I don't know if it's popular abroad. World's largest gathering of Nigels. Amid the name is dying out. Nigel Smith. After reading that no newborns were given the moniker last year, he now wants the name to be celebrated for Nigels across the country to stand up and be counted. So a free drink if you're called Nigel. We ought to have a gathering. He's going to have a place in the Fleece in Bretfordton in Worcestershire, September the 28th. It's Nigel's Day. He's going to try and make that Nigel's Day, isn't he? So if you're a Nigel and you're in the area, go and be like that. All right, Nigel. All right, Nigel. All right, Nigel. Nigel, what's your name? Nigel. 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 This is Nigel. That's Nigel. Anybody want a drink? Nigel's getting them in. Nigel, what do you want? He'd be like, fuck. Ed Doer. Sorry, I'm not going. Anyway, my name's Wayne anyway. So, speaking of Wayne, budding astronomers got the chance to name a planet. Oh, you've got to be an astronomer. I thought they were putting it out to as a competition. I was going to say I might enter it. Budding astronomers have the chance to name a planet. Oh, I could pretend to be a budding astronomer. The gaseous body by the Lynx constellation, more than 740 light years from Earth, is currently called WASP 13b. The International Astronomical Union is launching a competition for youngsters in the UK. I might just about qualify for that one. The UK to choose a new name for the planet. What would you call a new planet if you were given the chance? If I was going to call it, I was going to call it Wayne's World. It's my world. After the film as well, that's what people used to say to me: Wayne's World, Wayne's World, Wayne's World, Wayne's World, when the film was out. So I know what you're feeling like, Nigel, when people, well, what it's going to be like in that Nigel pub. I don't know what I'm going on about. How long we got left? A two-headed rattlesnake has been found in New Jersey. He has 2 brains, 2 heads, and independently of the other. So it seems it's trying to slither off in different directions. It seems that the wild 2 heads aren't better. It seems in the wild 2 heads aren't better than one. As its 2 heads could get caught on something leanable. I don't know why I pulled that one out, but anyway, it's weird, isn't it? Two-headed snake, but we've all know a 2-headed snake, so it's not the first one to be found. Everybody knows a 2-headed snake, but probably in human form rather than that one's actually a rattlesnake, so you can hear it coming. But if you've had a 2-headed snake in your life, there you go. He's not alone. Right, okay, there's a conga. Speaking of snakes, work pals have smashed the world conga record by dancing in line for 14 miles. The 10 financial advisors spent 5.5 hours grooving to Black Lace's Do the Conga. They completed the 57 laps of a running track while the party favourite played 110 times on a loop. 110 times, let's work that out. If the song's 3 minutes long, that's 330 minutes. They did 14 miles. That's as far as I'm going to break that down. So they did 14 miles in 313 minutes. I'm going to try and break it down. That's about 6 hours. I tell you what, I'm pretty certain they hate that song by now. If they didn't hate it, or they hated it when they started it, that would probably be playing in their head for a good few hours after that. So there you go. If you want to challenge that, you've got to do a conga for more than 14 miles. I only do the conga when I've had a big win on something, so I haven't done a conga for quite a while. Where am I going to try to go? Trendy hot yoga classes reduced blood pressure in people who did it for 12 weeks. Trendy hot yoga classes reduced blood pressure. I bet the blood pressure on the guys doing the conga, that would have been they'd have got the sweat up, because obviously the hot yoga is getting sweaty, isn't it? So it probably, I wonder if doing the conga is good for you. Probably is, isn't it? It could be a new a new exercise fad. You go to the exercise class and you just do the conga around the room. Could be a new thing there. Conga classes, like Zumba, but this one's called the conga. You have to change you can't, not to that fucking record though, no. Trendy hot yoga classes reduced blood pressure in people who did it for 12 weeks. Have you ever done hot yoga? I've done it. I did it once. I paid £30 for 30 lessons. It was a trial thing. I never went back after that, but it was good. It was good, but I turned up the first day in completely the wrong clothes. I'd never done it before, yoga, and I chose the hardest one. Well, I'm not saying it's the hardest one. Don't get your knickers in a twist if it's not. It was hot, and it was like I had a tracksuit on, I think, and you sweat. I mean, you proper sweat. It's got the room really, the temperature up, and it's meant to make you feel like you can bend, like metal bends, you know. It makes it heat. You heat the metal and it can bend, otherwise it wouldn't normally. It makes you more flexible. And I sweated. I was like, I think I was just like as thin as the tracksuit. I was like a piece of skin when I walked out of there. I was like this. I lost a load of weight, lost a load of water. I had to just. So I didn't have no water with me. Other people had 2 litre bottle of water, and they were just necking it as they were doing it. And I had no water. I'm surprised they didn't have to call me an ambulance. It was hard work, but it was good. It was good. I found it very good exercise, but it's an hour and a half, and it was hard work. I quite like. There's loads of yoga things on YouTube. If I ever have like a burst of wanting to do some stretching and stuff like that, there's loads on YouTube. But obviously, you know, you're not going to push yourself as hard as you are in that class, and I pushed myself too far. Then I nearly never used up any more of my £30 for 30 goes or something. I think, or 30 days. It nearly cost me £30 for one day. I think I went back once or twice more after that. But next time I was wearing like skimpy bloody what's it called? Speedos, I think, or something like that next time, because that's what people were wearing. I was like, fucking hell, it's a bit racy in here, isn't it? But everyone was wearing like really small clothes and everything, and I now realise why, because my thing was like soaking wet. I've never sweated so much. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. So kind of hopefully do get back to it next week. I actually done this. Still took me half an hour, so I'm double late from where I'm meant to be. So anyway, enjoy your weekend. See you again next week. Bye.